There are some new Target novels out, and I've read this one so far. Seven new Target novels out. I have bought 6 of them. I didn't bother with The Pirate Planet because I've got the longer novel of that, though I think I probably will get around to it because that was quite long and dull, and I'd rather have a short version. But that leaves these 5 plus Dalek, which hasn't arrived yet. So we've got The Witchfinders, The Crimson Horror from the new series. We've got the re-release of the TV movie, which I already have, the original of that from 25 years ago. Looking forward to seeing the differences there. And then we have the 2 Saywood novels, which have been out in hardback for a couple of years, I think, now. So I've seen lots of murmurings and whisperings and reviews. So I thought, and given this was one of the first ones to arrive, because these arrived in drips and drabs from Blackwell's, I thought I would start with Revelation of the Daleks. Now, the TV version has never been a particular favourite of mine. I don't dislike it. It's very much at the stronger end of where Doctor Who goes with body horror. And body horror is not really something that I'm a fan of. And the great weakness of the story, which transfers mostly into the novel, is that the Doctor and Peri don't arrive to where the action is until the end of part 1. And this is a 2-part, 45-minute part, each part story. That said, I think overall this is probably the superior version of the story, because that cliffhanger appears before the halfway point of the book, so the Doctor and Peri do have more to do. Saywood does flesh out the characters. There are some fascinating, is fascinating the right word? Some interesting choices for first names for all the characters. You learn the first name of every character who is just a surname in the TV version. You get some backstory fleshed out as to how they've ended up doing what they are doing, which I guess is the benefit of having a Target novel of any of the TV stories, really. The better ones are the ones that don't just do a basic retelling of the TV adventure. It is very Saywoody. So if you're not a fan of Saywood's particular brand of Doctor Who, if you're not a fan of the way he writes his novelizations, I'm thinking particularly of The Twin Dilemma, which I think is a great novelization. It's probably, without rereading them all now, it's probably still his best, novelising something that is one of the worst television stories ever, and I make no bones about that, but the novel is great. So expect Voxnick, expect Spiel Snapes, expect Pteroleptils, expect Tim Clavick from the Mines of Raga, expect all of those things that you would expect from a Saywood novel. There's some excruciatingly clunky dialogue, but not too much. The second half of the story is expanded nicely to up the stakes with regards to the Dalek threat. There's an extra character introduced to help the Doctor out with that, and it sort of ties up a loose end from the first half of the story in the TV version. Peri still has very little to do apart from to be leered at by Jobel. She does have a probably slightly extended hangout with the DJ, but otherwise she is sadly superfluous to the storyline. But I think, as I say, that's just an inherent weakness of the original story, and without diverting further from what he did on TV, there's no really real way of fixing that. But I do think the embellishments, the additions, are worthwhile in making this a better version of what we got on screen. Now, the reviews that I've read before very much suggest that Resurrection is the worst of this pair, but I enjoyed this quite a lot, so I am looking forward to reading that. As I said before, looking forward to what Gary Russell's done with the TV movie. It is, from my understanding, it is a relatively light polish. I think he said on Twitter sometime there was about 10% different from the original novel, and a lot of that's correcting errors with geography and things like that. But I do look forward to seeing how that differs. The Crimson Horror is probably my least favourite Gatiss on screen, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's done with that. Now, I couldn't help but peek ahead to the problematic moment in The Witchfinders, the moment that really turned me off the TV version and meant I didn't appreciate it at all. The Doctor's misuse of the Bible in what can be seen as an anti-Semitic way. That has been fixed with just a very simple polish on the dialogue. All it needed was a few words to be said slightly differently for it not to be offensive in that manner. So I'm looking forward to reading this with fresh eyes, knowing that that has been dealt with. So hopefully this will be a much more happy experience with that. Dalek, hopefully, as I record this, hopefully it will arrive tomorrow. Blackwell's have been, interesting in their supply of these books. They've all come separately on mostly different days. But hey, I've still got loads of them to wade through, so I will cope. Anyway, before I get onto that, there is the latest Ben Aronovich Rivers of London novella, What Abigail Did That Summer, which I will also be doing a review of on this channel. Anyway, thanks for watching. Look forward to more reviews of these. Send me your thoughts, post in the comments if you've read Revelation, what you think. If you've read any of the others, what you think, that would be great as well. Do subscribe and like this video and share it if you feel like doing that. And I will see you in the next one.